Nothing makes me laugh and cry more than when someone at a company is training you. You're new to the job, and they're talking about how much they hate the job, how horrible everybody is, and you're just sitting there like, bro, this is my first day, and you're giving me all this.
Hello everyone, it's Emmanuel Cooke. Today we will be reacting to a new video, and I hope that you guys enjoy the video.
First day of work update. I fucking hate it. Oh my God. First of all, look how much of a dork. I hate it so much. Oh my fucking God. I look like such a Let me calm down. Oh God, I'm so triggered right now. So the day I was leaving my training, one of the hostesses was like, stopped me, was like, hey, just so you know, the general manager who hired you is a raging alcoholic, and he talks to people in a really mean way, and he starts yelling. So if that happens, just like stand up to him, like make sure like you say something. And it fucking happened today. It's too soon for that to be happening. I was training and there was like a huge party. And I'm just, like following my trainer now. And he comes up to me. He's like, why are you just standing there? He's like, you need to pick up the table. I'm like, sir, okay. You need to tell me that one time. Like, I am a grown adult woman. You do not need to talk to me like this. And this is my action plan. If he says some crazy shit to me again, I'm going to say, sir, is this how you talk to people? And if he says, yes, this is how I talk to people, I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to go home. Because no, there is nothing. There's nothing in this life that is worth it to me to stay and be disrespected and degraded for no fucking reason. I don't give a fuck. Like, there's nothing in this world that is worth it to me to be putting up with some grown man's inability to emotionally regulate himself and talk to me crazy. Like, that is not an option. I'm so sad and upset because I really wanted to love it and I really wanted to enjoy my time there, but I'm starting to quickly realize that it's just not a good fit. Anyway, thank you for letting me rant. I'm so upset, but have a good day. Bye.
If somebody from your company is taking the time to train you, you really got to start taking notes, screen recording, doing whatever you have to do, because that's their time, okay? And they're really not getting paid extra to train people. Usually it's a supervisor who's making an employee train them, hand it off to them, because they don't want to deal with it. They probably don't even know what's going on in the day-to-day. So really start valuing these people's time, okay? It's okay to ask questions a couple times, but the same question a month later, weeks later, it's going to get exhausting.
One training per job. I'm not logging in every 30 days to do a 45-minute training course. I'm not doing it. I trained for this job when I first started. I trained for 6 weeks. What do I need to train again in a month for? And in another month? I do this job every day. I know what I'm doing. I don't need to brush up on nothing. I get my brushing up every day when I walk in here and I clock in. I'm not doing another training. That was in my sign-on contract. You should have read it before you signed me on. Well, Darius, since you got back early, maybe you should go in the room and do some training. No, I'm not. I got back early because I wanted to get back early and get off early, not to fill the rest of the time with training. No, it's not how this works. That's not how this works. This job is not that. It's not rocket science. I don't need to train every day. This is not the NBA. We don't need to practice we doing the job. Get out my face, please. Get out my face, please. Next thing you know, you're going to
I don't know if it's just like the restaurant industry, but why is it always that one fucking person that is completely standoffish and cold to you when you are like a brand new person starting and like they're training you? Or like there's like one girl or one person that is just rude and then everyone else is so freaking nice. Why do you have to ruin it for like everybody? Why do you feel like you're so much more important or so much better than people when they first start out? Like, would you have wanted that when you started? Maybe you did get that same treatment, but like, why would you want to have someone go through that again? Like, I literally started at this new place at a restaurant. I'm training with this girl, completely standoffish, doesn't make me feel included whatsoever. I'm completely like just hi, I'm not somebody that's gonna butt in and, try and be all buddy buddy with somebody that's ignoring me. That's just like not my personality. Until I feel included, then I will literally like jump in conversation. But that's just me personally. Maybe I have to work on my own things of just like butting in and shit. But literally, like, people like that literally are so confusing and so weird. Like, why are you so weird? And why do you like being weird? And why is it that I have to prove something to you in order for you to be nice to me? Like, even then though, like when I am doing my job and you can see I'm doing my job right, and yet you're still want to act cold and standoffish to me for whatever fucking reason. Like, I literally cannot stand that. I don't know if it's just a restaurant industry thing or it's just universal, but I feel like I've come across this several times in the restaurant industry. And it's really fucking annoying. Like, what makes you think you're better than people? You're not. You're just a fucking hostess at a restaurant. Like, literally. Why do you feel like you're better? Don't understand. It pisses me off literally to no end.
So this is a pretty big red flag. If your company hasn't properly trained you, that's going to be a telltale sign that you're going to run into some problems in the future. If you're not trained properly, usually your direct manager isn't trained properly and their manager or director is not training them properly. So what usually happens in these situations is that you're going to have a lot of micromanagement going on. And we know what happens when we get micromanagers. There's a lot of stress and unrealistic expectations created. If this is the case, this is totally out of your control. This is an organizational issue that has to be addressed by middle management or top management. I would look to transition out of that department to another department if you work for a corporation. And if it's like a smaller company, I would consider transferring out. And I can bet 9 times out of 10 that company already has retention issues and employee engagement issues. Quite honestly, I would look to put yourself into a better situation altogether. Follow me for more high-value career tips and book a free strategy session so we can get you paid.
As someone with autism, I fucking hate training at new jobs. A lot of trainers resist the idea of just doing a project start to finish and you taking notes and asking questions along the way. But the thing is, for me, that sets the tone. I know what your expectations are. I'm already familiar with this project that we're working on together. And so I'm not looking at some random unrelated project trying to fit these weird pieces together that don't fit. And even if you include the time that I'll still have to ask questions when I do it on my own, it will not take nearly as long as you banking on me finding shit myself and trying to compare it to other projects or people's work that wasn't up to par or things that are outdated because processes change all the time. With this, I have context, I already know the goal that we're heading towards, the steps that we're heading towards. All these resources don't seem so meaningless anymore. I have examples of like what they look like, what they're named, what I'm looking for when clients send them to me. Like, it's night and day, people. It's night and day. But it is on me to communicate that that's what I need and that's why I need it. I don't need to be out as autistic. I just need to tell my trainer, this is the way that I learn best. Is there any way that we can try this? And then go from there. And this isn't about just wanting someone to do the work for me. This is about you are providing context because you want me to learn as quickly as possible so that I can be the most help as soon as possible. The longer it takes me to learn, the less I'm going to be able to help my own team. And the more frustrating it's going to get for everyone involved. The less emails are going to make sense to me as we're going. Like, it is going to create an avalanche of confusion along the way. So be direct. And you'd be surprised how positively people take that. Like, honestly, they just want you to be able to help with their workload as soon as possible. And that's the goal, right? That's all we're trying to do here. Anyway, be confident. You're great. You're worth it.
This question has been coming up a lot in my comment section. So I'm about to give you guys the cheat code on how you avoid becoming the designated survivor. And get your pen and paper because this is about to be a good one. So actually, the first time your manager asks you to train someone, it is a great compliment. They trust you, they believe in you, and they know that you can get the job done. This is very flattering. This is actually the first step to being positioned if you handle it correctly. But if you train that person too well, you do too good of a job, and you do not leverage what you did in order to get yourself ahead, you're going to fall into becoming a designated survivor. So while you're training this person, you're going to be keeping a short list. You're going to be documenting Everything you trained them on, the processes and steps you took, the outcomes, how they onboarded, their feedback, everything. You're going to be creating what I call a workflow analysis. And after you're done training that person, you're going to compile that information and have a one-on-one with your manager. You're going to ask them what they thought of your workflow analysis, what they would have done differently, and you're going to essentially get what I call their buy-in. And then when they come to you next time and they say, we want you to train somebody else, here's what you're going to say. You're going to say, actually, I think it would be a great opportunity for us to get Tom or Sarah involved in the training process because I think they could use the leadership opportunity as well. By doing that, you're doing two things. One, you're letting them know that I'm willing to help you create, but I am not willing to execute every time. Two, you're also getting your other coworkers involved. You're giving them an opportunity to get some exposure. That shows that you are confident in your leadership abilities, and you also trust that what you created was good enough to be used throughout the department. And three, you are conserving your time. You're letting them know that I have a boundary. I'm not about to become your designated survivor. Get somebody else to do it. But you're doing it in a way that's actually going to leave a legacy because now your new coworker is going to be using your training guide to help train new people. And that is going to become a part of that succession strategy, but also in a very positive way. And of course, because you're not a rookie, you're going to document that in your annual performance review, and you're going to leverage it as a way to demonstrate your ability to create a strategy for the department and also execute. I hope you found that helpful. And if you did, follow for more.
Have you ever just started a new job and it's day one and you realize, fuck, I already want to quit? Yeah, you and everybody else, babe. Let me tell you something. When you feel this, it's usually not your fault. 9 times out of 10, it's because the recruiter was lying to your ass, telling you that they have great training, great onboarding, and a fantastic culture that you're just gonna love. So here's my rule of thumb. Give it a month. If it's not starting to get better, you leave. If it's slowly starting to get better, give it 3 months. If you still hate it after that, baby, get out. No guilt. And before you say, oh, I'm scared to job hop, aren't you scared to be miserable more?
To make 3 years at my job. I make 3 years in March. And I wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for my prior experience in customer service and call center work. My job promised us 6 weeks of training, 2 weeks of systems program training, 2 weeks of sales training, and 2 weeks of nesting, which is you're taking live calls, but you have the trainer walking you through every single call for 2 weeks until you could be by yourself. Now, when my training class started, it was right when COVID began. So I understand why training was cut short in that sense because COVID, there's no way to control that. But 6 weeks of training turned into 3 days. 3 days, and we were sent home. You mean to tell me that this billion-dollar company that I work for could not figure out how to have virtual training? There's Zoom, there's Microsoft Teams. You mean to tell me you could not put together a training for the new hires? We were supposed to 3 days of training, good luck. And that's the thing with this company I work for, that nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Because there's many times I have to call different departments for help on things I can't do. And every person that I speak to has a different answer. And unfortunately, I don't know because that's why I need their help. So with every different answer, I don't know which one to believe. But that's not their fault. That's the company's fault for not implementing the proper training. So yeah. I don't think any of us know what we're doing.
Bro, I found out why my job stresses me out so much. I need you to listen to this. Oh my god, this is going to blow your mind. Okay, so I work at the front desk, right? I'm a receptionist. And the training was not good. Because first of all, most of it was on Zoom. It wasn't even there physically. Someone with me being like, click here, do this, right? So training someone how to be a receptionist via Zoom, already inadequate. But what I realized was that they don't actually teach you enough steps of how to do the process correctly. And my autistic brain works differently than their brains because I'm over here thinking, okay, I need to create as many steps as possible between each point of direction in order to decrease the margin of error, to make that margin of error as small as possible. The more steps, the less space between each step. The less space there is between each step, the less the margin of error is. And the less the margin of error is between each step, because there's a lot of steps, the quicker you can get to the point where you turn your brain to autopilot and still make fewer mistakes. In other words, more steps equals smaller margin of error between each one, which means there is less brain power being used with each step required. This is not how anybody trains you on any job whatsoever. Which is why I'm 100% sure that I can walk into a doctor's office and set it up so well that everyone would be like, whoa, have you managed a doctor's office before? And I would be like, yeah. Sure. Of course.
I ain't even gonna cap to you, sis. We need to make a career out of it. I had a homegirl who literally worked jobs for training, and then by the time training was over, she made sure she had another job to work training. Just so I'm feeling that.
Because investing in employees is such an expensive cost for employers, I, for one, am a big supporter of effective training. However, I have seen situations where they kind of just throw you to the wolves. I think when it comes to training, it's very important to make sure that a new hire understands all the systems that are critical to this person doing their job. So if the gap in training was specifically around systems and processes, no, that is not okay and that is not normal. There are other situations, though, where they've trained you on all the system and they've kind of explained all the processes, and now they're expecting you to actually apply your skill and technique to the role. So I think that's where your therapist was coming from. She was like, hey, some companies are like, listen, our onboarding plan is 2 to 3 weeks. And after that, you're kind of just on your own. You need to build relationships with your peers. You need to identify other people in your organization who might be able to help you. You need to be resourceful. So there are certain situations where employers will kind of set up that dynamic. But I stick to my original point that you should not leave employees out to drown, especially when the investment and cost to retrain someone else is just way too high. So let me know if your gap in training had to do with process and systems, or if it was actually parts of the job you could have learned on your own. Let me know.
Wait, what did they just say? Oh my God, can they slow down? What was on that screen? I literally have no idea what they're talking about. Oh my God, I think I blanked. Hopefully that wasn't important. I have a lot of questions. No, I can totally figure this out on my own. Maybe. Does that make sense, everyone?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Oh my nigga. Yo, regardless, my job today had me go train someone today. This person was so illiterate, so incompetent. This did not know anything. Anything I would tell this person could not remember shit. I don't get how they hire these dumbass people, honestly. I was teaching the person how to use the scanner. The scanner was, to teach you where the stuff is at, where to put it, etc. This person, after an hour of just training, was not remembering shit. I was like, what's wrong with this? They got dementia? Are they I don't know if I say the word, I'm trying to get banned, but acoustic? I was like, gosh. And then the manager will come up to me, how's he doing? Is everything going well? Everything going well? No! You put me with a dumbass. No wonder these people be leaving this job. They don't be wanting to do no work. And I don't get paid enough to be teaching these people. And then tomorrow I gotta teach him again. He's gonna be with me every day of my schedule. I don't want to train him. He is slow. I know everyone knows at their own pace, but how do you not remember shit? Come on, man. He's the type of person that remembers his own social security. If he does remember it, he could tell me it. I got some bank accounts I'm trying to, clean up. I'm trying to, clean up some credit, clean up some debt I owe. But I swear Target's be hiring anybody. They're literally Target's becoming the next Walmart. So just lazy people, dumb people.
I don't know why, but I'm always the new hire that doesn't get trained correctly or barely gets trained. And then somehow months later, I'm the one training the new hires. And I'm looking at them like, you guys barely trained me and you trust me to train this person? Oh, that's wild.
This only goes for the non-lazy workers. Shoot, or should I say the workers that overly work hard for no reason, like me, myself. All right, so I've been working since basically I was able to work at 16. I had a job basically ever since then. Ever since 16, I'm now 21. Between these two jobs, everything I noticed is that, if you're a good worker and they see that you're a good worker, no matter who it is, they will always get you to train the new people. They'll be like, and this will be their excuse. They'll be like, we know you got it. We know Like, you was in, like, they'll tell the other worker, you was in good hands. Like, don't try to hype me up to get me to go train this person for a whole week straight. Shoot, just recently at this job that I work now, bro, like, they'll get you to train somebody 1 week, and the next week have another person come in, and you got to train that person, like, and you find out, like, probably a day or two before they about to come work. Like, bro, I'm mentally prepared to come in to work and just chill, and I got to come in and train again, bro. Like, shoot, if you get the best worker to train the new workers all the time, that should automatically be an increased bonus raise. Like, you should get a bonus, a $500 stimulus. Like, you need to get something, bro. Like, cause training from the best people, that ain't cheap, bro. Like, you paying, like, you gotta pay me to learn my secrets, like my shortcuts. You can't take my shortcuts that I took years to gain and get it right then and try to give it to the next new worker. Nah, it don't work like that. You gotta pay for this knowledge.
Have you recently started a new job and have gotten little to zero training? Then this is for you. The first thing you want to do is to be actually very specific when you're talking about this. Don't just go to your boss and say things like, I need help, I need more guidance, I need more support. That's going to still keep a lot of guesswork in this. Instead, be very specific in exactly the areas that you need further support on. 2, if you're then met with pushback in terms of resources or not enough time to put the effort in for this training, that's where you want to make it really clear on the consequences that will happen from not getting that training. And this can result in things like mistakes, time inefficiencies, or just errors in your work because you're not learning the proper training first and foremost. Then 3, show your resourcefulness and come forward with a plan of what you would like in terms of this training so that it can actually facilitate your boss to sign off on it a lot more easily. You've got this.
This job easy as ever. Don't worry about your hat being back. What they gonna do, fire you because your hat backwards? Pretty much all you gotta do is face it. Look for the UPC code, the last 4 digits of the code, and then you match it up with the price tag. We call that zoning.
So you don't match it up with the label name?
No. So the last 4 digits to the price tag.
So does the price tag match with the label name?
No. You gotta pretty much you match it up with the UPC or the price tag on there. It's self-explanatory. It's easy. All you gotta do is pretty much just put it up there. Face it.
Oh, I get it. So you just gotta put it up there.
So?
Wait, what?
Nothing at all. If you ever have any overstock, you just go ahead and put it back in the box it up, write it down, and then you put it back on this cart. And then we push the carts to the back, and then we leave it for overnight. They work it, whatever doesn't get worked, or whatever does get worked, then we have to work it.
So we just put it on top of the shelves?
No. See, like you put it in a box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Then you write it down, date it, and then you push it back to the back.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. You just rotate it, pull it from the back, pull it to the front. Whatever new product you get, you take that and you push it to the back. And then pull the back to the front.
So I move it to the side and push the new product to the side too?
No, the back to the front where you put the product.
All right, this is about the easiest task you can do. You cannot mess this up. If you mess it up, then something might be wrong with you. You take the product that you have. You see the last 4 digits? Take the last 4 digits, key in the code on the product that you have on the last 4 digits into the computer, and then you're good to go. That's all you got to do. If you ever have something missing, then you just have to go back and look for it on the shelf. So then you come this way to the shelf. No, so you take the last 4 digits, not the first 4 digits, the last 4 digits.
Okay, so last 4 digits.
Right. Now remember what I told you. If you don't see it in here, then you have to go back to the shelf.
I gotta like physically get up and go to the shelf?
So you take the last 4 digits, key in the code. When you key it in, it's done.
Hey, Mike, listen. Don't ever have me train anybody ever again. He act like he didn't know what he was doing. I had to explain to him like 5 times on one thing. It's taking too long to do it. I'm not doing it ever again. It don't take 20 minutes just to get one thing done.
You just started a new job. You don't know what you're doing. You're confused about your role. What do you do? So the first thing that I would do is reach out to my manager and make sure that I understand what my job responsibilities and expectations are and what's out of scope, what's within scope of my role, and anything that comes up, you can always run it by them. a lot of times you want to get as much clarity in the very beginning of you starting a new role. You want to ask as many questions during this window of time because it's still seen as you're new and not as, okay, this person might be incompetent or not know what they're doing. So ask as many questions as you can. I promise you that people are always going to help you when you first start a job, and it's going to be seen as someone who's really trying to get a good lay of the land. It's going to look like someone who really wants to excel in the role instead of someone who might be confused and not really have too much experience in what they're doing. So I highly recommend the beginning, when you first start in a job, that's the time to ask as many questions as you want. And more importantly, to ask for time from people. Have people sit with you, have people talk to you. A few weeks in, they might be annoyed to do it. So do it in the very beginning, and people will appreciate that you're trying to understand what they do and how things work and how you can work better together. Good luck.
So when I was like 18 or 19 years old, I was a server at this restaurant, and I was a server trainer as well. My experience in that position led me to understand that people do not want to be trained by somebody younger than them. And everybody's always thought that I'm older than I actually am, so whenever it came down to my trainee actually liking me and inviting me out for a drink or asking how old I am, and then finding out that I was 18 years old, their demeanor and attitude changed entirely. Not everybody, of course, but a lot. This is a situation of somebody who no longer respected me because I was younger than them. Alright, so welcome back to training day 2. Here's a little bit of a breakdown of what you should expect out of today. Okay. And then at the end of the shift, I'm going to have you take 1 or 2 tables depending on your level of comfortability. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I've worked serving jobs before. Yeah, we all have. I'd also like for you to be able to have all of the appetizers memorized without having to reference the menu as best you can, and I want you to be able to recognize most of the meals coming out of the window today. But if you can't, it's no big deal. We're gonna go over everything coming out of the window anyways, okay? Yeah, like I said, I've done this before. I don't even know why I have to finish this training. It's way too long. If you feel like the training's too long, you're more than welcome to test out whenever you want to. I can tell the manager to put your test together, as long as you're certain that you know everything. Oh my god, yes, I've been doing this for like 8 years. It's not that hard to memorize a menu, okay? So yeah, I'll just test out. Okay, talk to me like I'm a customer. What's in the crispy chicken? Go. The crispy chicken is, it's gonna be a grilled chicken. Wrong. What's the dressing on the tomato and beet salad? The red wine vinaigrette. Nope. What's the daily special today? The catfish No. So, do you want to go over all the food that's gonna come out of the window with me, or do you want me to go get your test ready with the manager?
Oh, you're doing a great job. This person is horrible. Oh my goodness. No, we all struggle with this at first. It's no big deal. So we just hiring anybody nowadays. It's not even that hard. Lord Jesus. I know I wasn't this bad. So yeah, you're gonna click on the thing, the icon. It says email. You know email? How do you spell email? E and then M-A-I-L. So this person ain't never even seen a computer, but they got a job working on computers. What in the Lord are we doing? I need to quit. I need a raise.
That is it for today. I appreciate you guys watching the video, and like, comment, and subscribe down below, and see you in the next video.